Hi everyone, welcome to today's Have You Heard? And for today we are going off script. We're doing a band that we haven't done before, and we're going into the 90s here. We're going with Def Leppard, and this is Adrenalize, which was the eventual follow-up album to the absolutely huge Hysteria. Um, Now then, Def Leppard. Why Def Leppard, Richard? Well, um, I don't know. It's such wonderful, catchy guitar music. It is not pop, it's not heavy metal, although, of course, in the early days they were categorized within the new wave of British heavy metal. And maybe their first album was like that. But as they got involved with Robert John Mutt Langer as producer, they became more pop oriented, more catchy, I guess. But it's not catchy pop. I mean, it's got meat, um, it's got strength, it's tough. The guitar playing is absolutely incredible, and it is very unique. They have a style, they have a sound that is instantly recognizable as Def Leppard. And I got into them a bit late, round about the late 80s, early 90s, when I was living in Johannesburg. And with all the driving I had to do around South Africa, these albums were perfect for just driving down these long, lonely highways with this guitar music ringing in your ears. I just fell in love with Def Leppard, and it's really weird to think now that they come from Sheffield, which is about 20 minutes down the road from where I live now. And I first heard them the other end of the world, at the tip of Africa. So it's strange how these things happen. I absolutely adore them, and I would love to do more songs on the channel. But let's see how we go with this one first of all. Now, this is a deep cut. This is White Lightning. This is a deep cut. It is not a single. It's been reacted to twice on YouTube. Well, a third time, but I don't think that counts because the lady didn't get her sound right at all, and it sounds like the music's coming out of an empty baked bean can. But yeah, two, and of course, both reactors loved it. This is the tribute to their former guitar player, Steve Clark, who died from an overdose of drugs and alcohol abuse the previous year. This is their tribute to him. Um, and while most people think that it's a twin guitar sound, it's actually Phil Collin, the surviving guitarist, playing both parts and actually playing the part that Steve would have played in his style. It's quite emotional. It's written by the whole band, and it is, I think, a great example of a deep cut Def Leppard song. So I would hope, if you're not particularly Def Leppard fans, that you just take a listen to this and see what you think. Okay, enough talking. Let's go on to the music. Gosh, I've been going 4 minutes already. Apologies for that. Just quickly before we start the music, don't forget that if anybody wants to request a song to share with us all, we now have options available in Buy Me a Coffee. Don't forget that. I would love to be able to share your choices of music with everyone. We also have the Patreon link there as well, where I've just put in the first full album review of The Moody Blues to Our Children's Children. Right, that's enough advertising. Like and subscribe. I got that in quickly. Let's listen to White Lightning, and we'll talk about it a bit more afterwards. Here we go. There we go. That's White Lightning by Def Leppard off Adrenalize, which went to number one in the UK and went to number one in the US. I mean, this band were hugely, well, they're still going. I saw them 6 years ago in Manchester. They had Cheap Trick supporting them, and it was a phenomenal gig. It was the first time I'd seen them live, and they were absolutely superb. Um, so successful. One of only five bands ever to have two studio albums sell more than 10 million copies in the US alone. And the other four bands are the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and Van Halen. Wow. I mean, what company to keep. Incredible. They've sold over 100 million copies worldwide. Um, and I mean, really, it is straight up and down good old hard rock with some catchy pop melodies inside. But they have their guitar sound is so rich and unique, and it's played in such a way um, that it's so memorable and so catchy. Uh, yeah, I keep saying the word catchy. I love them. And as I say, I think it was about the time of the Adrenalize issue that I found out about them. Um, Heaven knows how I did it, or why I'd missed them. Um, because I like a good old heavy rock guitar band like the rest of them. I like Van Halen. I like Thin Lizzy. I like Led Zeppelin. Why didn't I get to hear Def Leppard earlier? But I'm so pleased I did. And I heard them firstly through their greatest hits album called Vault. I think I saw it on a special offer somewhere and I bought it because I'd started reading in the Q magazine. That's a British music magazine that used to find its way over to South Africa about 3 months after issue, and you could buy it for half price. And that's how in the 90s I started to catch up and keep abreast of everything that was happening music wide. And yeah, they had done a review of Vault and given it 5 stars and said, well, this is the best of everything that Def Leppard have done. And if you like this stuff, you'll like everything else they did. And sure enough, I did. um, of course, so much interesting stuff as well. Apart from obviously the tragedy of Steve Clark dying, they recorded this album afterwards as a four-piece, and then they recruited Vivian Campbell from an ex Dio and Whitesnake, I think, guitarist, who's still with them now. Um, of course, they had the famous Rick Allen accident when their drummer, Rick Allen, had a car accident on New Year's Eve in 1984 and lost his arm in the accident. And of course, that again for all the reactors when they start with Def Leppard, that's the thing that they go, oh, it's the one arm drummer, and it's like a novelty thing. Um, but the wonderful story of how the band stuck with him and said, no, if you want to learn how to drum with just three limbs as opposed to four, you take your time and go for it. And he did. He found that he could use both his legs to compensate in some way for losing an arm, and he recorded Hysteria with one arm less. And but for live tours, they decided to take somebody along with them as well. But early on in the tour after Hysteria, the the sidekick drummer turned up late for the gig, and Rick just went on and played by himself and blew everybody away. And so there was no need for somebody to augment his playing any time in the future. It was him all alone. It's a wonderful story. And they're a wonderful band. And I do hope that some of you are Def Leppard fans and that you enjoy this video. Sometimes when I break away from our trusted path, nothing happens. This might be the case here, but I'm hoping it doesn't. I hope it is something that everyone has a listen to and enjoys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you Def Leppard fans? I mean, the States are huge Def Leppard fans. So um, our listeners and viewers from the USA, are you amongst those millions of people who have bought their albums? I'd like to know. And of course, as I said before, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe and check out all of our playlists below. We have lots of good stuff to catch up on. But that's it for me for now. Thank you very much for having listened to Def Leppard and having listened to my waffling on a little bit. I'll see you tomorrow on the next episode because we do one every day. But until then, cheers everyone.